Hi, so I've had a little bit of time to check out the Karion pram, and I thought I'd just give you a few little tips and tricks that I have decided work for me. So I ended up purchasing the liner, the pram liner from Karion, and it does fold up in the pram, which is nice. However, it won't fit in your backpack folded up with the liner in, which is a little bit disappointing, but yeah, I guess you just have to take the liner out and transport your pram if that's what you need to do. So the pram liner, so the straps actually can be adjusted. There's some little sewn on pleat things here. I've got it on maximum at the moment, and then so depending on where your straps come through, you'll either have to move the liner forward or back, just so your straps are coming through at a nice angle. So yeah, it's only got the one little buttonhole sewn in there, and then the same down the bottom. There's just the one little hole, but it seems to matter more for the top straps rather than this little middle one here. So I actually had a look at some different types of shade. I just purchased a universal shade cover that just has little tabs that you can tie it onto the frame, and then it will come down the side there. As you can see, it does extend the shade out, and it goes on relatively well. However, depending on where the sun is, in the early morning or the late or afternoon, it doesn't really provide an amazing amount of sun. You sort of wish this would come down. So a lot of the reviews that I had read had actually mentioned that people used a cozigo, and I was lucky enough to have one that somebody had given us some time ago, and it's amazing. We've used it on the planes, on the little bassinets. I've used it on various prams in the past, mainly to help Bub have a better nap. So I'll show you that. It comes in this little bag, and I'm sorry everything's backwards. It just pops out like this. It is actually, I don't know if you can tell, but it's actually like a double mesh. There's lots and lots of holes in it, so Bub doesn't tend to heat up underneath this like they would a blanket or something like that. And it's they've done airflow tests and things, and the airflow tests are really good on these. I like it. It's got a zip here. It's got a little velcroed peephole here, and it's got dual zips on either side here. So when we went for our little walk, had Bub in the pram obviously, and this just goes over like this. It's got some nice little clips on the side, and the clips you can just clip to the frame on either side, whichever way up that you want it. And then you can see here that it is unzipped, so you can either have it unzipped on both sides like that, or for me, when we're walking around, sometimes there's sun, depending on where it is, I might just have it half zipped up, say on one side, depending on the side of the sun. So my Bub really seemed to be happy with that. She's 17 months old. The other thing is that this doesn't actually have a footrest, the pram, but not that she's really worried about a footrest, but the cozigo does tend to support her little feet a little bit more, if that was an issue for you. So I'll just take this and clip this. So if you're looking for something that will block out a lot of the light, definitely decreases distractions, It's a really great shade light blocker thing that really helped my bub have great sleeps on the plane when all of the other babies were crying when she was somewhat smaller. And my bub's not an amazing napper when she's not in her cot, so we were very thankful for that. So the other thing that I found with this pram when I was pushing it is that when you hang on to the handles, my feet tended to hit the wheels and things like that. However, if I push it from here, it gives me just enough space that I wasn't, or very rarely do I hit the wheels or the pedals. In here rather than here. So yeah, so if you're having some trouble kicking the wheels, just move your hands back a little bit on that back bar. It's still very comfortable to push and it eliminates those issues. The other thing that I guess I noticed was that these little wheels are great. It was relatively easy to push on grass and up hills and that kind of thing. Obviously not maybe as easy as the prams with the bigger wheels, but it is significantly lighter. So I felt like there wasn't really that much difference in effort exerted. The only thing is that the small wheels, if you hit a bump, they come to a bit more of a standstill than a bigger wheel does. The bigger wheels tend to seem to rise over that a little bit more. But all in all, it's been a lovely little pram to push, and in many ways I prefer to push this pram over our bigger pram just because it's a lot lighter, and even though it has a little bit of give because it's got so many joints in it to make it fold up nice and small, it's still quite secure to push, and the little bit of wobble that it has compared to a more solid pram really hasn't been an issue for us. So yeah, I'll probably end up making it more of my everyday pram rather than just a travel pram. Hope that makes sense. See ya.